Texas, tonight on NBC.
KSPW Action News 8 begins with breaking news.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Erin Clark.
And I'm Dan Green. We are starting tonight with breaking news out of Boulder Creek. A house fire there spread and quickly grew to 10 acres. The fire started at about 11 this morning on East Road. It spread uphill and away from town. And obviously, given the light of what we've seen, it prompted tremendous concern.
Tonight we have live team coverage on the conditions fire crews are dealing with and with residents forced to evacuate. We start with Action News reporter Phil Gomez live in Boulder Creek.
Well, Erin and Dan, flames moved from a burning structure to other homes, but fortunately CAL FIRE eventually got the upper hand. Drops from a large air tanker and helicopters bombarded the hillside with fire retardant. It all started near this one-bedroom cabin. The property owner came racing home when he learned about the blaze.
I can't imagine what it was because, like I haven't had a wood stove or wood heat or sources of fire and, meticulous about it.
After destroying the cabin, it pushed uphill toward homes along Red Hawk Ridge Drive in Boulder Creek. The Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Office mobilized, ready to evacuate residents, but that order was never given. Most of the people living along Red Hawk Ridge Drive were at work when they learned of the fire.
It was pretty scary, I got a call when I was at work and came rushing down here. They wouldn't let me through on the road, so I jogged my way up the hill.
It's pretty close. It's on our property. It started on someone else's property, but it looks like it's burning on our property, but they've got it under control now, it looks like.
No other homes were burned. CAL FIRE crews remained on scene, putting out hot spots with 50% of the bare fire contained. And CAL FIRE will remain on scene for the next couple of days doing mop-up. Homes and CAL FIRE's aggressive attack helped contain this blaze. Dan, Erin.
Thank you, Phil. As firefighters work to put out those flames, some neighbors made a very quick decision to leave.
Many of them nervous, of course, after seeing how the Camp Fire quickly spread and destroyed areas of Butte County and claimed dozens of lives.
I think that people they're like in a state of terror right now from obviously the fires happening up north and down south. And so they, are very quick to just kind of think, oh, we need to get our stuff and go, and pack up the car, get the dogs, fill up with gas, and I think that's just because they're like terrified by, the fires elsewhere. So they're just thinking like, wow, this could spread so quickly.
Yeah, understandably, right?
Understandably, absolutely. Action News reporter Felix Cortez continues our team coverage. He's live from Boulder Creek.
And Erin, Dan, despite no evacuation orders being issued here in Boulder Creek, many people wasted no time in collecting belongings and getting out. A major reason for that, and you just said it, it's the Camp Fire burning in Butte County. As soon as people saw smoke and fire in Boulder Creek, they wasted no time.
And the first thing I did is I have a 95-year-old or 97-year-old neighbor. We called her to let her know, get your stuff together. We're going to pick you up and carry you into the car.
People we talked with said the first thing that came to mind was the Camp Fire burning in Butte County. That fire started small, spread quickly, leaving little time for many to escape the deadly fire.
I think that people they're like in a state of terror right now from obviously the fires happening up north and down south. And so they, are very quick to just kind of think, oh, we need to get our stuff and go, and pack up the car, get the dogs, fill up with gas, and I think that's just because they're like terrified by, the fires elsewhere. So they're just thinking like, wow, this could spread so quickly.
No evacuation orders were issued in the Bear Fire, but people weren't waiting for one to get out.
Yeah, I got the call around 11:45 at work, and my wife was already packing. She was on her way out, and she got the kids and left about 1:45.
Horse owners were quick to get their horses to safety, but some described a chaotic scene as people tried to flee and others tried to reach their homes.
Thank God that it was contained soon, but if this had gotten worse, I don't know what would have happened to all of us. We could have ended up like another Paradise, another town that had been burnt down, because there was a lot of panic in the beginning of this whole thing.
And I think, Dan and Aaron, what we're seeing today is a new mindset among people who live in wildland areas, that today's fires pose more danger, cause more destruction. And I think that they're ready to leave. I think what we saw today is that they're ready to leave in a moment's notice, and they're not going to wait for any evacuation orders. Aaron, Dan.
All right.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, Felix. Well, after seeing what happened up north, you can't
Sure.
blame anybody for that. Our meteorologist, Chief Meteorologist Lee Solomon joins us now with more on conditions that crews are facing, and of course, keep talking about the smoke.
And let's put it in perspective right now, right? So how much rain have we had in the Santa Cruz Mountains?
None.
A quarter of an inch, way up high. You know what they should have had by now? 4 or 5 inches. Last year, we were over 5 inches already. That would, this fire wouldn't have gone anywhere with that amount of rain. So we're way behind. We just haven't had any rain, and we were kind of biting that bullet all the way through. September, October, we were doing okay, and you can only go so long. So that's the bad news. The good news is there is some rain in the forecast, but let's check in on the Santa Cruz Mountains right now and see what's going on up there. 10 acres burned, 50% contained, and they're going to be mopping this thing up overnight and over the next couple of days, because if you were to get some winds, of course, that could fan the flames. You think about blowing, on that little, if you campfire and it's going out, you blow on it, right? That gets the embers going. So we want to be careful that we don't get anything like that. And it was just north of town, so luckily not much in the way as it climbed up the hill. The Bear Fire right now, 60 degrees, so it's not hot. Relative humidity is low. We know that. We've had offshore flow 33%, and the winds are calm. So those two things in the firefighters' favor today, the cooler temps, and of course the winds were light, and they remain light, and that is actually going to be the story overnight. We have a little westerly breeze right now, and that's carrying at least what smoke is up in the Santa Cruz Mountains off to the east, but there's a lot of smoke, of course, from the campfire that's also impacting the area. Overnight, light winds, barely a breeze up there. We'll call that calm, and then tomorrow we're back to about a 5 to 10 mile an hour breeze out of the west. So I do not see the winds as a factor reigniting any of this, so that's good news for us over the next couple of days. And as I said, guys, late in the forecast, we have a chance of finally some rain.
Keeping our fingers